Anyway,
I agree. I
go
agree.
go ahead, Edel, and fill them
That
in
no,
on what they were
that's an
saying.
important point because that's true. Another big issue is the fact that he's trying to capitalize on this master class, wherein traditionally how Igorots and specifically the Kalinga, how they would earn those tattoos was through headhunting.
Headhunting,
That's the
yeah.
only way you can get a tattoo. And yet this guy
Well,
is
for
uh,
men.
for
I
men.
know.
For women, it's
Yeah.
something else. It's for
For fertility.
fertility.
Mhm.
But yeah,
And also,
for
it's so status in terms of like your family and
yeah,
Right.
your community bonds. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
So so
there's a lot of
so
meanings.
exactly. Already, there's
Yeah.
already so much things that we can talk about regarding this. However, it's being billed and being sold as, "Hey, you can do this." It's like selling an art course. That's all essentially what it is.
I
Yeah,
know, and
You want to
it's
learn
not just
photography? Learn from here.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
yeah. It's, but yeah. Again, I just wanted to like. So what happened was the announcement was made, and then
Mm.
Grace, the grandniece of Apong Ud, posted this on a closed Facebook group. Not a closed Facebook group, but it was just a Facebook group, and that's how
Mhm.
it blew up because it got shared from there. And what she said was, "Warning: Wangud Academy is a scam. My grandmother did not sign any contract with Nas Dela to do any academy. Some people are taking advantage of our culture. Please help us stop this disrespect to our legacy in Apong Ud and the Butbut tribe." Right. So
Mm.
that's what happened. It got shared all over the place, and then Nas Daily shared. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the video from Nas Daily of Apawang Ud apparently signing the contract to do this course. Regarding that, however, a lot of people are saying that is it truly, like, did she fully understand that? Did she have legal counsel, right? That's one important part too. Did she have legal counsel to sign off on that? Right? So like how 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 much weight does that contract really have? Right? And
Right.
that's what he's trying to say. Like, oh yeah, she signed this course. She signed this
Y-
course.
Yeah,
She
and
signed this paper.
people people are comparing it to um the way we were colonized and
Exactly.
Yeah.
those what do you call tactics of yeah of
Yeah.
Yeah.
documents
Like
and
what they would do to the
whatnot.
Native Americans,
Exactly.
Exactly.
indigenous folks
Exactly.
out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the treaties for the First Nations people, it wasn't
Hmm.
through coercion, but it's sort of like, you know, it's kind of like a bait and switch kind of tactic.
Hmm.
Is what I'm seeing.
Totally.
That's kind of what I'm
I
seeing.
wonder what was promised. You know, there's a couple things I wonder, like what was promised, and would she even get a percentage of any of the fees that would come in from the tutorial? You
They
know,
said she would be compensated or something is how
Right.
what they said.
Sure.
yeah.
And
Um,
that goes into the that adds on to the conversation too, is a lot of the people, even Cordilleran like professors from the Cordilleras and
Hmm.
politicians talking about the legal ramifications of that, because there's a specific law under the Philippines that basically um prohibits that. And
Mm.
it's the I'm trying to find it right here. Here, I'm gonna
yeah,
Is
share screen one more
to
time.
protect IP folks.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. I'm
and
gonna share it
exactly,
again.
and you would think somebody
Watch
like Nas
stream.
Daily, who deals with cultures all over the world, would think to research something, perhaps that the government has on indigenous people or something like that within
Exactly.
Philippines before doing something like this. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of iffy. I don't know. It doesn't add up.
He brags about having a team where 40% of it are Filipinos.
Yeah, but how many are
A big
Igorot?
team.
You know what I
That
mean?
too. No,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. He's touting the fact that, oh, I have Filipinos working with me. That's been 1 minute. You know what I mean? And then so here, Professor Nestor Castro, PhD from UP
UP. Yeah. Dillman.
Diliman.
Dillman.
Um,
Okay.
he goes on to say, Nas Daily does not know Philippine law, more particularly the Republic Act number
Mm,
8371 or the Indigenous Peoples Act IPRA and the implementing rules and regulations. Free and prior informed consent FPIC is required when knowledge of indigenous people is used for commercial purposes. In
mm.
fact, the agreement between parties should also be written in English and local Kalinga language and witnessed by a national commission for indigenous peoples. I haven't done any
Yeah.
further research on or
That
further
makes
reading
sense.
on this, but to me this holds a lot of like weight, a lot of water.
Awesome that they even have this law, honestly.
Yeah, this was back in
Yeah.
97. This was back in 1997 after
Wow.
the UN proclamation about indigenous peoples around the world and stuff.
Wow.
But we've had a lot of how you say um, spokespeople from our culture who probably
mhm,
had influence over
yeah,
in that too.
the
No
the
doubt.
auntie from IIC, what's her name?
Mhm.
Auntie Victoria.
Right.
Victoria.
She
Yeah.
was
Right.
yeah, she was part of that.
Actually,
Makes
our
sense.
next door neighbor in San Gabriel, she's a UN person too, and yeah, I think it's our. Jeez, I can't even remember her, but she's also a relative of ours. But so we've had a lot of people in terms of like uh, in terms of within the UN from our culture who've been involved in indigenous rights
Mhm,
stuff, and so certainly that has influenced Philippine law. Um, and no doubt a lot of that is the exploitation because then a lot of it was simply put down so that people could wouldn't just simply go there and take people's land.
mhm,
Mhm.
You
mhm,
know, hey,
Yeah.
let me get your trumpet. Now own your land, sucker. You
mhm,
know,
Now own
that's
your
mhm,
that.
whole damn
Yeah,
mountain, man. You
hold your
know?
mountain and your river. You know,
mhm,
Isn't that
Yeah.
happening right
exploit.
now?
You know, so a lot of that was set up because of these kind of like scammers um coming in and doing nonsense like that.
mhm,
um
Yeah.
hey, I'll give you like whatever sounds lucrative at that time, but it's not certainly not worth the weight in the actual resources that would have been traded into, especially if they think that there's some a natural resource in the mountain also.
yeah,
um
Gold.
Gold and certain
Yeah.
precious metals. And now that
Mhm.
there's a whole precious metal mining kind of operation because we need to find lithium batteries because now we're going to replace oil with lithium, right? And so all you electric car fans out there, think about what that's going to do to our universe too.
mhm,
You think we could free Tibet when Tibet's the largest resource of lithium? A large resource of lithium. I mean, there's other places too, but you just think
mhm,
about that. It's like, ooh, and so the resources that are in our in the Cordillera, um, boy, and then the water resource too. That's another kind of like big kind of thing. Um, the watershed that's up there, um, uh, and trying to dam up our areas too. That's another thing. So we are a resource rich people because of where we live from there, and so a lot of these laws are there to kind of like put some guidance over that. But like again, it's people's willingness to enforce it too. The Philippines, in terms of like as a nation, in terms we seem to capitulate to higher powers all the time, uh, and so. Uh, but then these are now YouTube influencers and stuff like that who are coming in. I think there's something that at least can be done about that, or at least to bring
Yeah.
awareness
I
so that
mean,
people don't just simply come in there and piss all over us.
the interesting
mhm,
part is probably, they I mean, he's got a whole group. I'm sure that Nas Daily has a law team, especially if they're gonna write up a contract. You need lawyers.
you'd think, right?
You'd think. And I don't know if there's some weird international law or something like that like says they can bypass the things in a certain country But it's just kind of strange that they didn't even think about that. What are the
Why
laws in the
why didn't
Philippines?
why
Yeah,
didn't she have legal counsel to sign that? If it was such a
yeah,
big deal for him,
yeah.
right? If he was trying to promote this as this like amazing
Hmm.
thing, you think to even not even like sure he didn't do his research about the culture, he didn't do any of that stuff. Maybe he is he is ignorant to the culture itself, but regarding the whole signing, like to me it doesn't seem it wasn't
Doesn't
well done.
seem those wasn't well
Yeah.
done. He needed a team of lawyers to write up that contract. So and I'm sure I bet you anything that the lawyers said to him, hey man, you better check up on the law over there before you have this signed. I bet you anything they said that because lawyers will do that.
Who's to
You know what I
say?
mean?
Yeah. No,
They
You
probably
would
exactly,
told him he
exactly.
was
you would
like,
think.
well, let's see if she'll sign it. If she signs it, she signs it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, he probably said, "It's
Yeah.
been 1 minute. I'll see you tomorrow." That's probably what he said.
Yeah. And
Well,
My opinions
depending,
about him aside, like
yeah.
one thing I do want to say though is like there is a lot of backlash towards him, and
Mm.
he's already doing a lot of backstepping. I don't care
He
about him being
removed the
canceled.
he removed
He
the
did.
class. Okay. All
He
right.
did. He did. So that's a good first step.
he
But
did for now.
he did for
Oh
now,
no.
because I think the announcement was it's going to be tentative or whatever, and he
Hmm.
did that um only after the grand niece's post was removed.